Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Paschatya Sutadina Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna, as I mentioned this morning, that I will start the Krishna's pastimes out of Vrindavan from this afternoon session. This morning we sort of generally covered the Harinam Chintamani aspect of our seminar, and now we're going to Krishna's pastimes out of Vrindavan. Last year we discussed about Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes cover Krishna's childhood pastimes, then Krishna's Poganda Lila from 6 to 10, and then Kaishar Lila from 11 to 15. And then Krishna left Vrindavan and went to Mathura on invitation of Kamsa to kill Kamsa. The whole thing started on Krishna's appearance upon the prayers of the demigods to Kshirodakshai Vishnu to relieve Mother Earth from the burden that was caused by the demons. And Krishna, as Kshirodakshai Vishnu, assured them that he would come and relieve the earth from its burden. And Krishna told the demigods to take birth in different families on this earth planet, mainly in Jadu and Vrishni family. And as you all know, upon their request, Krishna took birth. Krishna appeared as the son of Devaki and Vasudeva. Devaki and Vasudeva got married, and Devaki's cousin, Kamsa, was taking Devaki and Vasudeva in his chariot. He himself was driving the chariot. That shows how dear Devaki was to Kamsa. Kamsa was very fond of Devaki. And so Devaki, his sister got married, and generally the charioteer, the chariot driver, drives the chariot. And just like the rich people, they have chauffeur-driven cars. They don't drive the car. They have their limousine, and the chauffeurs drive the car. But sometimes, when someone is very important, then the boss himself becomes the chauffeur. So that was the situation that Kamsa himself was driving the chariot of his very dear sister's wedding. After the wedding, he's taken him to the in-laws' house. But at that time there was this announcement from the sky. And it declared, it announced that Kamsa, so affectionately the sister that he is driving to her husband's place, her son, her eighth son is going to kill him. So, upon hearing that, Kamsa became so angry that he immediately decided to kill Devaki. Oh, your son is... So we can see the demoniac nature is very inconsistent. Right? Because they are motivated by their selfish interest, they don't care about anything else. All they understand is their own selfish interest. In one hand, we are seeing so affectionate to his sister. So fondly he is taking her to the house of her husband. And in an instant, his whole attitude changed. He pulled out his sword. And with his left hand, he caught her hair, caught her by her hair. And he was about to sever her head from her body. And Kamsa is actually a demon. In his previous life, he was a demon called Kalnemi. And at the time of churning of the milk ocean, Krishna killed Kalnemi. And that Kalnemi appeared as Kamsa in Gopis. So Vasudeva, who was very composed, very wise, he told Kamsa, Kamsa, this is not going to be the right action for a hero like you. Like you are known all over the world for your heroism. You are considered to be one of the most powerful persons. You are considered to be one of the greatest warriors. And if you kill your own sister, now first of all, to hurt or insult a woman, according to Vedic culture, is the worst kind of activity that a man can ever perform. What to speak of hurting a woman, killing a woman. Your whole reputation will be completely lost. And that woman happens to be your own sister. What will people say? So the thing is that you have nothing to fear from her. It's a son who is going to, is going to cause you any harm, if at all. So I promise that whenever the child is born, I'll give this child to you. And then you decide what you want to do. If you at all have to kill somebody, kill the child, not the mother. So this is how Vasudeva, with his wise counseling, desisted Kamsa from this heinous act. And then, year after year, a child was born, and Vasudeva took the child to Kamsa, and Kamsa mercilessly killed those children. This way, one after another, 6 children were killed by Kamsa. 7th child was Balaram. Balaram appeared as the 7th child. And when the child was 7 months in the womb of the mother, the child was transferred to the womb of Rohini. Rohini was in Vrindavan. And everyone thought that Devaki had a miscarriage. The 7th child were considered to be a miscarriage, but actually the 7th child was Balaram, and Balaram was transported by Yogamaya from Devaki's Om to Rohini's Om. And then as the eighth child of Devaki and Vasudeva, Krishna appeared. And right after Krishna's birth, in Kamsa's prison, Kamsa tried in various ways to prevent the conception that the eighth child couldn't be born. He imprisoned them, tied them up with chain in the prison. But still, who can prevent the advent of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? So Krishna was not conceived through physical union, but Krishna was conceived in the womb of Devaki from Vasudeva's heart. From Vasudeva's heart, Krishna went to Devaki's heart. And then it appeared that Krishna was growing in the womb of Devaki. And the demigods knew that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is coming. So they came and started to offer prayers to Krishna when he was in Devaki's womb. And Kamsa took all kinds of precaution to kill the child as soon as he would be born. Kamsa not only imprisoned Vasudeva and Devaki and shackled them in the prison, but he posted hundreds, thousands of guards to guard the prison house. And in due course of time, Krishna was born. On the day of Janmashtami. The Ashtami, the 8th day of the lunar waning period of the moon in the month of Bhadra. And when Krishna was born, right at that time, all the sentries fell asleep. Krishna showed but the child was unusual. He appeared with 4 arms. And Vasudeva and Devaki could recognize that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna showed them his 4-armed Narayana form, and they could see that the Supreme Personality of Godhead has appeared as their son. And they were in great anxiety. Beautiful child has been born, and Kamsa will come and kill him, like he killed so many other children. But Krishna assured them, don't worry. What to speak of Kamsa? No one can kill me. And he instructed Vasudeva to take him to the house of Nanda Maharaj on the other side of the river, Yamuna. And Nanda Maharaj acted according to Krishna's instruction. The prison doors opened up, the sentries fell asleep, and Vasudeva took Krishna on his lap and went out of the prison. At that time, there was a torrential rain, and Anantashesha came to spread his hood over Vasudeva's head while he was carrying Krishna. So Vasudeva came to the bank of the river, and he saw that the river was in full spate and a tremendously strong current was flowing. So he was completely perplexed. Now, how to go across the river? And then he saw a strange sight, that a jackal, a fox, appeared from nowhere, and the fox started to walk ahead of him. The river was in full spate, terrible current was flowing, and the fox kept on. The height of the fox is about maybe this high. It's smaller than a dog, usual dog. And so from seeing that, Vasudeva got some courage, and he also started to walk behind the fox. And he saw that the water was only actually ankle deep. So this is what happens when the Lord performs his pastimes. All kinds of wonderful things take place. And when he came in the middle of the river, somehow the child slipped out of his hand and fell on the water. In the terrible current, he started to look for the child everywhere. He couldn't find the child. Then finally, he found him and picked him up on his lap. What actually happened? When Krishna was crossing Yamuna in this way, Yamuna felt Krishna has come so close and I won't get any chance to play with him. And Krishna fulfilled her desire by just playing with her for a short while. Vasudeva brought Krishna to the house of Nanda Maharaj. In the meantime, Mother Jashoda gave birth to a daughter. So, he placed the child on next to Mother Jashoda, picked up the daughter and brought her back to the prison. And as soon as he came back to the prison, the door closed, the shackles came back to their hands and feet, and that baby girl started to cry, and all the sentries, guards woke up and ran to Kamsa to give him the news. And upon hearing that news, Kamsa, with his body trembling with fear, his legs wobbling, came to the prison house and he picked up the child, wanted to kill the child. Devaki appealed, Kamsa, there is nothing to fear from a girl. Please spare her. But cruel as Kamsa was, he picked up the child and tried to smash the child, throw the child on the stone floor of the prison. That baby girl slipped out of Kamsa's hands and went up in the sky, assumed her 8-armed Yogamaya form, and chastised Kamsa. Kamsa, how do you think that you're going to kill me? Rather, the one who is going to kill you has already appeared. It's only a matter of time, Kamsa. Your days are now numbered. So this is how Krishna appeared to perform his wonderful pastimes in this planet. About 5,000 years ago. What is 5,000 years in the calculation of the universal time? It's just the other day that Krishna came actually, and he performed these pastimes. For 15 years, sometimes it's also considered to be 11 years, Krishna performed his pastimes in Vrindavan. Actually, the year shortened during that time. And so, it's something like 5 years became 3.5 years. So 15 years became almost 11 years. So Krishna performed his wonderful pastimes in Vrindavan. And then Kamsa tried to kill Krishna in so many ways. When Kamsa heard that the one who would kill him has already appeared. And he didn't know who that was and where he appeared. So he instructed his to kill all the children that are born within 7 days. And so they started to kill all the children. And in the forefront of that killing mission was Putana. So one day Putana went to kill Krishna, but she got killed by Krishna. So in this way, Kamsa started to send one after another demon. All those demons are extremely powerful demons. As it is, the demons and demigods have animosity. And these demons are so powerful that even the demigods are afraid of them. The controller of the universal affairs were such powerful personalities. They couldn't deal with these demons. So, but these demons were sent by Kamsa. First of all, these demons became subservient to Kamsa because Kamsa defeated all of them. They are terrible demons, extremely powerful, and Kamsa defeated them. So, so all these demons became subservient to Kamsa, like they became actually Kamsa's servants. And Kamsa was sending all these demons one after another. But all these demons got delivered by Krishna. Instead of killing Krishna, they got killed by Krishna. So that is how one can see that no matter how powerful one may be, he is no match to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like we saw Hiranyakashipu, so powerful. He became practically immortal. He was so powerful that even thunder couldn't do anything to him. Indra used thunder, but nothing happened to him. That Hiranyakashipu was killed by Krishna. Hiranyaksha was killed by Krishna. They were all very powerful demons. In that respect, there is one episode when Ramchandra attacked Lanka with his monkey regiment. Then Ravan was trying to gather his strength. So he approached all his friends and relatives to support him. So many of them came to his support. So Ravan also went to Bali Maharaj for his support. So Bali Maharaj told him that, look, you don't stand any chance against this person. You may seem that he is just an ordinary human being, only one human being with his brother and a whole lot of monkey, and they don't really comprise any enemy as such to you. Like you may think that you can wipe them out in no time. But mind you, this person is not an ordinary person. And he told him, Bali Maharaj knew who the Supreme Personality of Godhead is. So he advised Ravan, he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you don't stand any chance against him. And besides that, you have done something wrong. Like you have stolen his wife. It's not a gentleman's behavior. offer his wife back to him and make peace. But Ravan reasoned, see, if I make a compromise now, then everybody will think that I've become afraid of him. So for my own prestige, I can't compromise. Bali Maharaj said, Ravan, put your prestige in your pocket. Put your prestige and honor. Don't worry about that. It's a matter of life and death. Then when Ravan would not listen to him at all, then Bali Maharaj said, come, since you have come, I'll give you a gift. So he took him to a golden mountain, studded with diamonds, huge diamonds, the size of a human being, so big diamonds, in that huge mountain made of solid gold. So he said, since you have come, you take it. So Ravan, who could actually lift even Kailash, he couldn't lift this mountain. So then Bali Maharaj told him, you know what this mountain is? This mountain is the earring of my grandfather, Hiranyaksha. And that Hiranyaksha was killed by this Ram. So you can't even lift his earrings, and you think that you're going to fight with him, with the person who actually killed him. So anyway, that is how powerful the Supreme Personality of Godhead is, and no matter how powerful one may be, doesn't stand a chance against him. Therefore, another name of Krishna is Ajita. No one can conquer him. The only ones, those who can conquer him, are his devotees. Jitopi Taistrilakam. Although he is Ajita, but he becomes conquered by those who surrender unto him and offer their love to him. So all these demons got killed one after another. Then one day, Keshi came to Kamsa and said that he saw Kamsa's condition was really pathetic. The poor guy lost his luster, became pale, there's a ring around his eyes, as if he couldn't sleep for days together. So Keshi asked, hey Kamsa, what's the matter with you? Kamsa then told him, look, that this is what has happened. This Krishna and Balaram are killing all the demons that I am sending. Keshi said, oh, I'll take care of him. Kamsa said, no, like Agha, Baka, Trinavarta, all these demons, all my friends have been killed by him. Okay, they have been killed, but Keshi is Keshi. So, then Keshi went, and Keshi got killed by Krishna. So when the news came to Kamsa, Kamsa became so worried. One Purana gives a description in this way, that when Krishna killed Keshi, who came in the form of a horse demon, Krishna was swinging Keshi's body over his head, and then he let his body go. And his body went flying all the way from Vrindavan to Mathura and landed right in front of Kamsa. And his body was completely out of shape. Like when the body fell in front of Kamsa, Kamsa couldn't figure out. It looked like just a lump of flesh and bone. And he looked, he couldn't figure out. And then he realized that it was actually Keshi's dead body. So upon perceiving that, out of fear, Kamsa began to tremble. And his hair stood up in ends. In ecstasy, your hair stood on end. And out of sheer fear also, your hair stand on end. So, seeing that, Vasudeva, there was a smile. He couldn't restrain his laughter. And seeing that Kamsa became so angry, he said, here is my enemy right in my home. Seeing me in distress, he is delighted. So Kamsa just pulled out his sword to kill Vasudeva. At that time, Narad Muni appeared there. Narad Muni said, Kamsa, by killing Vasudeva, what will you gain? Rather, Krishna will become even more upset with you. So don't try to kill Vasudeva, try to kill your real enemy, Krishna. So Narad Muni's business is to accelerate Krishna's pastimes. So demigods actually tell Narad Muni, Narad Muni, please rush it, but in a hurry, make him kill Kamsa. For how long we have to wait? So that is why Narad Muni actually, when Kamsa decided not to kill the firstborn, Narad Muni went and told Kamsa that don't spare this child. Why? Because it is said that when the child survives, the mother takes a longer time to conceive. So that's why, in order to accelerate Krishna's appearance, this arrangement was made to kill the children one after another. So Narad Muni told Kamsa that, Kamsa, your mistake is... Now Kamsa said, look, I'm trying to kill him, but I can't. So Narad Muni said that, Kamsa, your problem is that you are not sending... your mistake is that you are sending your allies one at a time. When enemy is too strong, then deal with him with all your full force, not with partial force. So Kamsa asked, so what can be done? What can I do? Because if I tell my friends and others, oh, come, please help me, that will be my disgrace. They'll laugh at me. They'll come, Kamsa, you're afraid. You're a coward. So he said, no, you don't have to do that. Narad Muni said, you have this bow that was given, that belonged to Parashuram. So you make an announcement. See, this bow no one can string. So you make an announcement that anyone who can string this bow, you will give him half of your kingdom. So then all of them will come, and then you invite Krishna and Balaram also. So in presence of your entire strength, you bring them, and then you deal with them. Kamsa liked the idea. And that is how he actually arranged this Dhanur Yajna. The Yajna of this bow. And the condition was that who would be able to string the bow, Kamsa would give him half the kingdom. So they all came, and Krishna Balaram was invited by Kamsa sending Akrura. Akrura actually was a devotee and very noble, very wise, belonging to the same family, Krishna's uncle, Vasudeva's cousin. So Akrura went. He took that opportunity to see Krishna, a golden opportunity to see Krishna. He heard about Krishna, he heard about all his activities, but didn't have an opportunity to see him. So when he arrived, he saw Krishna and Balaram. He offered his obeisances to Krishna and Balaram. Although he's the uncle, superior, but he offered obeisances. And then he went to Nanda Maharaj's house. Krishna Balaram took him to the house of Nanda Maharaj. And they spent the night talking about different happenings in Mathura, how different relatives were in distress. And he also told Krishna and Balaram that this invitation actually is an arrangement to kill you. Kamsa has these terrible wrestlers, Chanur and Mushtik. So the arrangement is that in order to entertain everyone, you have to wrestle with Chanur and Mushtik. And this is how Kamsa is planning to kill you. Krishna and Balaram just laughed. And in this way they spent the night. The next morning, the Gopis, when they woke up, they saw this chariot. And they wondered, what happened? And then they got to know that Akrura came to take Krishna and Balaram. Now the Gopis were so attached to Krishna that they couldn't tolerate the separation of a wink of an eye. When their eyes would blink, during that time that they won't be able to see Krishna, they couldn't tolerate that separation. They criticized Brahma, who gave everyone the body. So what kind of body you created? With eyes that wink? So, eyes that blink? So, and now the proposal is that Krishna will go to Mathura. They didn't have any idea that Krishna would never come back. But just the thought that even for a day or two that Krishna would be there, they couldn't tolerate that separation. And they tried to stop in various ways. Some of them even not only held the horses and were pulling the wheels of the chariot, some even laid down in front of the chariot to prevent Krishna and Mathura, prevent Akrura to take Krishna and Balaram to Mathura. So then Krishna assured them, don't worry, I'll come back soon. He said, the king has invited us, after all, we have to go. And Nanda Maharaj also told everyone, all the other cowherd people, that the king has invited us to this festival where all the kings and other people have come from different parts of the planet. So let us go also. And they carried all kinds of milk products and all kinds of gifts to give to Kamsa. So, and the next morning, Krishna and Balaram were taken in the chariot by Akrura. When they came onto Yamuna, which is the border of Mathura and Vrindavan, Akrura decided to take bath in Yamuna. The sacred river, Akrura thought, I'll take the opportunity to take bath in Yamuna. And when Akrura was taking his bath, he saw that Krishna and Balaram also were in in that river. So he was surprised that Krishna Balaram sitting in the chariot, how come they are here? And they didn't come into the water. So out of curiosity, Akrura went and saw, and that went back, and he saw Krishna and Balaraman sitting on the chariot. And he came back, and this time he saw Ananta and Narayana in the water. So he could see that Krishna and Balaram are actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His expansion. So Akrura was amazed. And so when he went back after taking his bath, Krishna asked him, Akrura, it looks like you have seen something wonderful. And Akrura said, yes. And my Lord, all the wonderful things are actually resting in you. So what can be a greater wonder than to see you? So in this way, Akrura took Krishna Balaram to Mathura. And the village people, as the chariot was going, they all were coming out to have the darshan of Krishna. And they offered their obeisances to him. And then Akrura arrived in Mathura. Beautiful city. The description, we can see, although that city was 5,000 years ago, but it actually excels the beauty of any city that the world has today. Broad roads with palaces made of marble, studded with jewels, with minars and turrets made of solid gold. So and the roads were adorned with all kinds of fancy decorations. On two sides, on both sides of the road, are gardens, flowering trees and plants. And those roads were washed by elephants carrying water in their trunks. And people also carried water in their bags and washed the roads, not with ordinary water, perfumed water. So you can see the opulence that was there at that time. Even the capital of a demon. Of course, the demon was ruling, but the city was actually built long before he came. So then Akrura requested Krishna and Balaram to come to his house. So Krishna said, no, you go home. I will first fulfill my purpose of coming here, and then I'll visit you. So then, in the meantime, Nanda Maharaj and other cowherd people have already arrived in Mathura, and they were waiting for Krishna. So Krishna met them, and the cowherd boys also came along. So Krishna, along with the cowherd boys, decided to go out on a sightseeing tour. So they went out and they saw the beautiful city. And people also got to know that Krishna and Balaram were coming. So they all were waiting, and they just seeing Krishna and Balaram, the ladies from the rooftop and from balconies and from the windows, they were just, it has been described that they received Krishna in their hearts through their eyes and embraced Krishna in their hearts. The ladies of Mathura took Krishna to their hearts through their eyes and embraced him. Krishna saw one washerman carrying clothes. He was Kamsa's washerman. So Krishna told him, see, we have been invited by Kamsa, but we are actually village people. But we have been invited by the king, so we should be dressed properly. Will you kindly give us some dresses? And if you do that, then you will receive inconceivable good fortune. Not only in this life, you live like a king, but you will be also rewarded in your next life. But although Krishna assured this washerman this good fortune in return, what Prabhupada is saying that because this washerman was associating with Kamsa, he became a demon. Rather, accepting this offer, he started to insult Krishna. How dare you ask for the clothes that are meant for the king? You village people just wander in the mountains and forest. Like this dress is good enough for you, so what are you wearing? Don't expect anything. That actually belongs to the king. If the king gets to hear that, he'll punish you. Krishna said, okay. And he simply swung his hand. And the head of that washerman was separated from his body and started to roll on the ground. Seeing that, all the other washermen, his associates, they ran away from there, leaving all their bundle of clothes. So then Krishna opened them, selected some nice clothes for himself and Balaram, and all the other cowherd boys also got dressed, and the rest of them, they just left it there on the street. And then there was a weaver on the way. Seeing Krishna and Balaram, he offered his obeisances, and he decorated Krishna and Balaram with fine dresses. Like he put them up in proper dressing. Krishna blessed them that you will have inconceivable opulence, and in your next life you will go back to God. Then after a distance, after a little while, Krishna came to a florist. His name was Sudama. So the florist, seeing Krishna Balaram, they just offered obeisances and invited Krishna to come. And he decorated Krishna with the finest flower garlands. Krishna was so pleased with him, he said that, Sudama, I'm so pleased with you. So you will get the benediction. I'll bless you that you have all the good fortune, wealth, happiness, fame, not only in this life, but even in your next life. You'll be elevated to the spiritual sky. Sudama simply begged that please bless me that I can continue to help other human beings, other living entities. And Prabhupada said that that is the attitude of a preacher. He doesn't care for his own liberation. He simply wants to benefit others. Then while they were proceeding, they came across one hunchback lady. He was carrying the sandalwood paste and perfume. So Krishna half jokingly asked, "Oh beautiful lady, who are you? Where are you going?" So she honestly replied that I am the sandalwood paste maker of Kamsa. So I am just carrying sandalwood paste Kamsa. And so she decorated Krishna with the sandalwood. And Krishna in return placed his toe on top of her toe, and he placed his forefingers under her chin, and then he gave a tug, and her body became straight. And she became an extremely beautiful woman. She was a hunchback woman, but just by Krishna's touch, she became exquisitely beautiful. And she also became attracted to Krishna's beauty. So she held on to Krishna's end of cloth and said, "Oh handsome, please come to my house." And she honestly admitted that I am developing attraction for you. My heart is filled with craving for you. So please. So Krishna was there in front of his elder brother and other cowherd boys, so he was still embarrassed. He said that, "Look, I have come here with a specific mission. So let me first fulfill my mission, and then someday I'll come to your house." And then when Krishna and Balaram were progressing with their friends, all the merchants and shopkeepers, they came out offering obeisances, offering the various gifts to Krishna. So Krishna asked them, "Where is the place where that bow is kept? Where the sacrifice is going to take place?" So they directed them, it's there. So Krishna walked straight to that place where this bow was kept. Now this bow, as I mentioned, was not an ordinary bow. When Parasuram was assigned, now this bow actually was given by the Lord to Lord Shiva when Shiva was advised to destroy the Tripurasura, who was dwelling in 3 cities in the space. And the condition was that if all the 3 cities can be destroyed at one time, then only the demon can be killed. So therefore, now Lord Shiva's name is Tripurari. Tripurari, the enemy of Tripura demon. So that bow eventually came to Parasuram. And Kamsa inherited that bow from the family line. So that bow was there and it was being worshipped because after all it's the Lord's bow. And so Krishna went there. The guards and Krishna just walked in. The other guards and things, the caretakers tried to stop Krishna. Krishna couldn't pay any heed to their appeal. He walked straight to the bow. Beautiful bow. Now this bow was so heavy, like you remember Lord Ramchandra lifted the bow up. That bow was of Lord Shiva. Haradhanu, the bow of Lord Shiva. And this bow also belonged to Lord Shiva, but it was given by Narayana. So Krishna admired it, and in the meantime, all these people came running. "Hey, what are you going? Where are you going? Not now, tomorrow. Now we are making the preparations. Get out of here." Krishna couldn't pay any heed to them. He casually lifted the bow with his left hand. after all, who he is. And after all, it's his bow. So he lifted the bow, strung it, and as he pulled, the bow broke. And all the guards seeing that, and they attacked Krishna and Balaram. So Krishna took half of the bow, half part of them, Balaram took half, and with that as their weapon, they wiped out the whole contingent. And the sound of breaking of the bow practically made the three worlds reverberate. Kamsa wondered, what happened? What happened? And then eventually Kamsa got the news that the bow has been broken. It has been broken? Who did it? These two boys from Vrindavan. So Kamsa realized now, this personality is not an ordinary personality. So he has come to kill him. So after wiping the entire army, Kamsa actually sent an army to deal with Krishna and Balaram. So just with this broken bow, they wiped out the entire army that Kamsa sent. And then they went out looking around the city casually. And then they came back to the place where the other residents of Vrindavan were waiting. So in this way, Krishna arrived in Mathura. It has been described that after eating various milk products, when Krishna arrived, his servant washed his feet and dressed him up, and then offered Mother Yashoda, the servants actually offered different types of sweets and milk products that Mother Yashoda sent. Krishna and Balaram and the other cowherd boys ate that, and they peacefully went to sleep. So they went to sleep. The two persons couldn't sleep that night. One was Nanda Maharaj. Nanda Maharaj was in great anxiety that now he has come into Kamsa's place. And who knows what Kamsa may do now. And the other person who couldn't sleep the whole night was Kamsa. Poor guy. The whole night he was just having all kinds of nightmares. He saw all kinds of characters roaming around. Ghosts, hobgoblins, bhuta, preta, pishachas. And he started to see that there are holes all over his body. And his body is not casting any shadow. So in this way he had all kinds of nightmares through the night. And in the morning, he got up and went straight to the wrestling arena to make preparations. He thought that, well, this is my only hope, that they will come and in the wrestling match, they'll be killed. So I'll just narrate up to this much today. And I know, as I have seen, there are many questions, so please feel free to ask.